The holographic training arena shimmered with artificial starlight as Instructor Kale demonstrated the Graviton Strike, a combat form that had won humanity 3 wars against the Viridian Empire. 23 cadets stood in formation, their exosuits humming with potential energy, each movement tracked by sensors embedded in the station's neural network. Lyra stood in the back row, her stance unconventional, weight distributed in a way that made the senior cadets exchange smirks. Her knees bent at angles that defied the Academy's centuries-old combat doctrine, her center of gravity impossibly low, as if she were fighting in water rather than in zero-G environments. "Cadet Voss," Marcus called out, his voice dripping with contempt. He was the son of Admiral Thorne, and he wore his privilege like armor. "Are you trying to invent a new way to die, or did you just forget everything we learned last semester?" Laughter rippled through the formation. Even Instructor Kale paused, his mechanical eye focusing on Lyra's peculiar posture. The old veteran had seen countless fighting styles across 40 systems, but this looked like nothing he recognized. "Your form is incorrect, Cadet," Kale said, his tone more curious than critical. "Explain your reasoning." Lyra's jaw tightened. She had heard this question before, in every combat class, every simulation, every practice session. "Permission to demonstrate, sir." Marcus snorted. "Oh, this should be entertaining. Let her embarrass herself properly." Kale's expression remained neutral, but something flickered in his biological eye, perhaps memory, perhaps warning. "Very well. Partner with Cadet Thorne. Standard sparring protocol. Non-lethal force only." The arena reconfigured instantly, gravity fields shifting to simulate the crushing 2.3G environment of a Viridian warship. Marcus moved into position, his stance textbook perfect, exactly as the Academy had taught for 300 years. His classmates gathered at the observation deck, eager to watch the strange girl from the outer colonies get demolished. Lyra said nothing. She simply dropped deeper into her stance, and something changed in her eyes, something ancient and knowing. Marcus struck first, a graviton palm that had enough force to crack ribs through an exosuit. His movement was flawless, powered by expensive military-grade enhancements and years of elite training. Lyra wasn't there. She flowed beneath his strike like smoke, her body moving in spirals that seemed to predict his attacks before he made them. Marcus threw another combination, left hook, right cross, knee strike, each one technically perfect, each one missing by millimeters. Then Lyra countered. Her palm strike hit Marcus's sternum with surgical precision. The impact sensors in his suit screamed warnings as his entire skeletal structure rang like a struck bell. Before he could recover, she touched his elbow, his knee, his shoulder, each strike no harder than a tap, each one sending cascading vibrations through his frame. Marcus collapsed, not from pain but from the impossible realization that his bones were no longer his own. His body had locked into Lyra's stance, his skeletal structure forced into her configuration by resonance frequencies he didn't know existed. "Cadet Voss," Kale's voice cut through the stunned silence. "Where did you learn Ocean combat?" The arena went deathly quiet. Ocean combat was a myth, a fighting style allegedly developed by the first-generation ships during their 1,000-year journey to the colonies, a style that evolved in cramped quarters and artificial gravity, designed for humans who spent centuries adapting to environments that would kill Earthborn soldiers. "My grandmother taught me, sir," Lyra said quietly, helping Marcus to his feet as sensation returned to his limbs. "She said the Academy had forgotten that humanity didn't stop evolving just because we reached the stars." Kale stared at her for a long moment, then did something he hadn't done in 30 years of teaching. He bowed, a deep, respectful bow that acknowledged a master. "Class dismissed," he announced. "Except you, Cadet Voss. You're going to teach me everything your grandmother knew. Because if the Viridians return, we're going to need warriors who remember that adaptation is humanity's oldest weapon." Marcus watched from the deck as Lyra assumed her stance once more, and this time, no one laughed. They simply began to mimic her form, their bodies slowly learning what their bones already knew, that survival belonged to those who could change.